What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of IMHO. That's John Roser. I'm Lane Whitaker. We're here from Grind City Media to talk about the hottest topics around the NBA. And right now, John, the season's winding down, and the MVP debate is getting heated out there in these Twitter streets. We saw earlier this week Steph Curry go crazy in a game against the Sixers. Joel Embiid's been mentioned for the Sixers as an MVP candidate. We saw Nikola Jokic go off against the Grizz. There's lots of names and debates we could have around this topic. But right now, if you had to cast your vote for the MVP, who gets your vote?
I'm going to go off the grid a little bit. I think Chris Paul's the MVP
of
the league. This is somebody in myself who was once on Jimmy Kimmel mean tweets and Chris Paul and Chris Paul read my mean tweet and then said, "Sounds like somebody needs a hug."
He's not wrong.
Right. This is during the Grizzlies-Clippers rivalry when this happened. It was back in the 2014 finals between the Heat and the Spurs. This is crazy coming from me, but I mean, that Phoenix Suns franchise has not been good at all since Steve Nash left. They had the one season under Hornacek when they had Bledsoe, Isaiah Thomas, and Dragic, and they won like 48, 49 games, and they were the 9th seed because you had to win 50 to make the playoffs. That team has just been god-awful ever since then. I don't care that they went 8-0 in the bubble. The bubble was a weird thing. Chris Paul has totally flipped that, and these guys have a shot at the 1 seed. And I know you look at his numbers, and it's like, well, he's not even averaging 20 points or whatever. There is more that goes into being an MVP than just your stats on the court. What Chris Paul has done with that team, he has totally flipped around that team completely.
And I think he's in his 16th NBA season, something like that. Like, you don't see players at that age, point guards particularly at that age, having that big of an effect.
Usually. And he's never on bad teams. Every team, that OKC team he was on last year, they were not supposed to be good. No. Next thing you know, they got the 5 seed in the playoffs.
I mean, I think Joel Embiid's in this conversation. Jokic should be in the conversation. And I guess Jokic could really kind of cement his case the next month or two with Jamal Murray injured now and out for the rest of the season. Teams are going to start. We saw the Grizzlies double team Jokic throughout the game the other night. So I think teams are going to do that a lot more now and kind of put more of the onus on him. And if he's able to produce the way he did, he's going to make a case for himself. Joel Embiid, good conversation, had an injury earlier this year, so missed a chunk of games. But I think if the Sixers continue playing the way they're playing, you got to talk about him. LeBron James?
No.
He's been hurt.
He hadn't played enough.
Okay, he hadn't played enough.
I think that's kind of.
What about Steph Curry? I mean, the one thing you could say is the Warriors are kind of in the bottom of the playoff race, and there's a chance they don't even make it. But for what that roster is and what he's had to work with, he's been pretty remarkable this year.
Yeah, I'm with you on Curry. Curry definitely should be in there. He'll finish top 5 in the MVP voting. I'm there with you on Curry. I think people look at Andrew Wiggins and a Kelly Oubre and a James Wiseman, and they're big names. They're names that people around the league know. But the truth is, Andrew Wiggins and Kelly Oubre are not like awesome players. Andrew Wiggins is more known for how he hasn't lived up to the potential that you see, and Kelly Oubre is more known for his drip and calling him wave poppy and all that stupid stuff. And then James Wiseman has played 12 basketball games in the last 3 years, so it's going to take him some time.
I don't know if we could say Dame Lillard also I think should be in this conversation too. I don't know if there's one person that's kind of run away with it though. Usually,
it feels like it's going to be Jokic or Embiid. That's what it feels like. If I had a vote, my vote would go to Chris Paul.
Yeah, I'd probably lean Jokic right now, but let's see how this goes the last month or so of the season. I think there's still a couple of guys who could make a case for themselves and kind of pull away from the field, but something we can debate a month from now, and that's what we do every week here on IMHO and on Grind City Media. That's John Roser. I'm Lane Whitaker. We'll see you next week.